My homie sent me this video on Discord, and since it's only 6 minutes long, I guess I could just make a quick debunk to it.
Goku vs Superman. Who would win? Starting with Goku, Goku's got his infamous macrocosm feat with Beerus. With this feat, Goku's able to fight Beerus and cause shockwaves destroying the entire macrocosm, including reaching the Kaio realm, which is outside of the macrocosm.
Okay, so I see you're misinformed. That's not the Kaio realm. The Kaio realm is the realm located at the highest plane of existence of the macrocosm. What you're trying to refer to is the Kaioshin realm, which is located outside the macrocosm. Get your cosmological placement right, buddy.
The reason why it's so impressive is because of how big the macrocosm is. It contains the mortal universe, which is infinite. It contains 4 quadrants, which also contain infinite space. You have time realms like the hyperbolic time chamber. And in Super, the macrocosm contains the super dimensions. With all of this, you also have the afterlife, which transcends all lower dimensions. And with the Kaio realm being 1/10 the size of the entire macrocosm, including the afterlife, this would get the overall macrocosm, the overall of Universe 7, being at least multiversal plus.
How in the hell do you concede that the afterlife transcends over an infinite universe and then you come to the conclusion that it's just multiversal plus? Do you know what the word transcend means? I think you're very confused, bro. The translation you're using is also inaccurate. This is a much better translation as it literally talks about the context. Higher than the heavens, transcending dimensions that cannot be perceived from the human world. It's a plural word, dimensions. So if it transcends dimensions that humans cannot perceive, it means it transcends at least 5D and 6D, which would make it at least 7D, and this is just a lowball, by the way. And the reason why I skipped over 4D is because, according to most of our scientific studies, time is the 4th dimension and time is a temporal dimension. Time is simply just a flow of events within a space, which we can perceive. We can perceive 3 dimensions of space and 1 of time, which is a 4-dimensional manifold. So anything above that is unperceptible from the human world in Dragon Ball would be at least 7D, based on the fact that it's a plural word used for dimensions. And even when you look at the kanji, you realize that there's a big reason why I said 7D is a lowball.
And if that wasn't crazy enough, there's even been arguments for the afterlife being 5th dimensional.
There's an argument? Really? Bro, you just conceded to it and now you're trying to say, oh, there's an argument for it. Bro, just what the hell?
In the battle between Beerus and Goku, it was even argued to be a super-dimensional battle, which is 5th dimensional.
No, it's not.
But what about speed? Well, Super Saiyan God is well beyond Super Vegito, who is well beyond Kid Buu. And Kid Buu's attacks were so fast, they were moving throughout instant transmission, as in his attacks literally were moving before Goku and the others could arrive in the Kaio realm. And instant transmission teleports the user to a realm that transcends time and allows you to move instantaneously. This would overall grant anyone faster than instant transmission or who could scale to it immeasurable speed.
Okay, that is literally one of the best immeasurable speed arguments I've heard for Z Goku. Bravo. You got me smiling.
And with Super Vegito scaling well beyond Kid Buu, and Super Saiyan God scaling even way beyond Super Vegito, the gap between baseline immeasurable speed and God Goku speed is crazy. And as we know, Goku gets way more powerful from this point on, as Goku literally absorbs the power of the God into his Super Saiyan form and one-shots of power beyond that level in base form. Getting into high levels of scaling, Fuse must be fused with the entire timeline. And the timeline contains the entire multiverse, Xeno's powers, and pretty much everything to an infinite degree. And even with this, Jiren is stated to be the strongest character seen so far from Beerus and the Supreme Kai, meaning he should massively blow Fuse out of the world. So put it in perspective, the timeline transcending or massively being beyond the multiverse is just insane, arguably being infinitely greater, which could bring this level of construct to being low complex multiversal or higher 5th dimensional or 6th dimensional. This is important because Jiren actually shows more power later on and fights Blue Goku to a standstill. This means by this point, Super Saiyan Blue Goku should scale well beyond Fuse, and if that wasn't enough, Goku has access to the legendary power of Ultra Instinct. This form grants Goku such a power level that it makes all the gods stand up in admiration of his power, and the gods are literally stated to have power that transcends dimensions. And we have statements, many statements, that Jiren also surpasses the gods' destruction. And there is also a scan outright confirming that Goku surpassed Beerus just with Omen 3, not even requiring MUI. Now the statement of transcending dimensions is a bit vague, considering the afterlife also has this statement, but I think it's mostly just to hype up the gods of destruction. And
no, it's not. The gods have been portrayed multiple times to be capable of destroying the macrocosms. So them being stated to have power that transcends dimensions is literally in context to them being able to destroy a construct that is stated to transcend dimensions. If anything, it's more consistent. It's not just a hype, bro. Where are you getting that from? That's just a cheesy assumption. And the scan about Super Saiyan God Goku and Beerus' battle being super dimensional also supports this even more. So why are you saying it's a hype when it's literally consistent? Superdimensional means superior to dimensionality or dimensions.
Superman in just his base form can fight many powerful beings. This includes beings like Darkseid, Doomsday, and even himself from an alternate timeline, Golden Age Superman. Each of those characters scaling to the DC multiverse in pure attack potency. With the cosmology of DC Comics, this can range from multiversal plus to freaking out-of-versal. And
He literally showed absolutely zero evidence for this claim in his entire video, bro.
if that wasn't enough, just by dipping a bit in the sun, he could one-shot the World Voyager, who exists in the 6th dimension. And with the 5th dimension being infinitely greater than the multiverse, and the 6th dimension being the same over the 5th dimensional, this would make base Superman scale from at least complex multiversal.
So 6th dimensional is complex multiversal for DC. Let's see what he thinks about 6th dimensional from Dragon Ball.
Bring this level of construct to being low complex multiversal or higher, 5th dimensional or 6th dimensional.
So for DC, 6th dimensional is complex multiversal, while for Dragon Ball, it's just low complex multiversal. You see, this is why I hate comic fans, bro. They always be downplaying Dragon Ball any way they possibly can.
So 2 lanes into out-of-versal, probably even higher.
For this, I'm just gonna apply Hitchens' razor, which basically states that what can be asserted without evidence can be dismissed without evidence. GG's.
As for speed, Superman is very fast, moving fast enough to be comparable to the Flash family, who all can move throughout time, granting immeasurable speed.
Hitchens' razor again. You didn't prove anything you said. Moving through time doesn't grant you immeasurable speed at all. You have to go beyond linear time, beyond space and time to be immeasurable speed. And I'm not saying Flash isn't immeasurable speed. I'm saying the way you scaled him to it is very wrong, and you didn't even provide evidence for that.
Moving so fast he breaks the bonds of infinity itself, and
This isn't an impressive feat at all. Breaking the bonds of infinity. Okay, you broke the bonds of infinite 3D. Also, you literally ignored the fact that he had to accelerate for a very long time before reaching those speeds.
direction and space-time mean nothing to him, which could argue irrelevant speed for Superman.
Yeah, only an idiot would try to use this to argue irrelevant speed for Superman. Just because it says concepts doesn't mean anything. This is a clear example of Superman hyping himself up. It says concepts like weight, distance, and temperature, and even space-time have largely lost their meaning to me. Now, for the fact that it puts things like weight and temperature, which are literally irrelevant to things like space-time, shows that it's not referring to true objective abstract concepts. Also, to have a relevant speed, the concept of distance has to completely lose meaning to you and not partially or largely. The fact that he says it has largely lost his meaning to him and not completely means that he's literally not a relevant speed. So it's just the same thing as I said before. Superman is basically hyping himself up through the entire scan that he's faster, he's stronger, etc. Doesn't really make him a relevant speed at all. Also, why are you combining multiple different versions of Superman? Clearly, there's a distinction between the old comics and the new ones. Like, you literally bringing different versions of Superman and merging their feats into one. If we Dragon Ball fans did that with Xeno Goku and Xenoverse Goku, y'all would be mad and be like, oh, it's not canon, which it is, by the way. I have a video on my channel explaining that. Yeah, just scroll down, you'll find a video called Everything is Canon, which basically shows Goku, blah, 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 being the same person. Yeah, basically 95% of what you said in this video is cap. Goku slams Superman in base form. GG's.